Hello. Oh, I haven't looked on Discord in a while. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that. Today we implement GoTo. No, I don't. We're not implementing GoTo. What do I want to do? I want to make sure some stuff still works. What is it? What is the argument? What is the argument? Oh, right. It's a plugin. It's not a built-in command. Is it called codecs? Dude, that's what, when it's been too long since I did a specific thing, that's what happens. Stealing some features from Clojure. That's a good idea. How are we going to hit 20 FPS if we don't steal features from Clojure is the question. Where are my examples? Oh, it's in the module. It's not a... Oh, no, maybe... Maybe it is. It's there. Oh, it's in the run folder. Come on, brain. Brain, please. All right. So we're going to go to the thing we just exported. Where does it go? Does it go into... Because I write the file name, but I don't write... Look at all the dumps. Sure made some dumps. Is it in the .build? I don't remember these things. Is it there? No. Aha! Found it. Wait, I'm already browsing, right? Where did, oh yeah, boom. Okay, let's look at what we got. These could be centered differently, couldn't they? They sure could. Okay, so handle exception, that's a big function. All right, who's big? STB print float, parse type Windows. That's annoying. Parse type Unix. You know, we should maybe trim those functions out so they don't get compiled. Why is check module so big? It used to be real small. Is the allocator? That's a ton. Like, this is what's crazy, dude, is like, here's the runtime library that you need to run any program. Here's malloc. Right? It's like, come on, man. Okay, anyway, though, this is only showing me modules. It is not showing me. Oh, you know why? Because this is the frickin' meta program. Because it's been so long, I did it wrong. I did it for the wrong thing. Why do you do disk IO when it... What the fuck are you talking about? Why do you do disk IO when it's so slow? I don't even know what you mean. When do we do disk IO? All right. I got too many windows. We're closing them. Oh, well. There we go. That's more like it. Okay. It's a pretty good view. Look at all these polymorphs. Look at all these generics that are off by one from each other. Bro, these are all generics. It's like probably, you know, at least 10% of the program is generics bloat, but that's actually a pretty good ratio compared to C++, I think. We can zoom in. Telemetry 3, why are we importing that if we're not using it? All right, so this is working. Now, though, let's do this. So let's compile. So we've got an option for this in our game as well. Do we have a help? You know what? Memory view. So these are things that I want to talk about in the talk. Although maybe I don't, because then everybody will copy all this shit. You know, that's all people ever do is copy stuff. So, yeah. Isn't that a good thing? I mean, I want my programming language to succeed. So again, like, it fucking sucks when everybody copies my shit, you know? All right, so you know what? This calls for a song. You guys know how this is an educational stream, right? You know how it's an educational stream. Too many motherfucking with my... All right. So since we verified all this stuff still works, which is the main thing I wanted to do, we could, we want to get the Emacs command working too. Because like every time I install a new machine, like Emacs is in a different place or whatever. But first we got to do an educational stream. Let me find the educational video. This is a song about what it's like to work on a programming language and do demos of it and talks of it on YouTube. I don't know which video to pick. Maybe this one, maybe this one. We'll do the one with the skit.
So he wouldn't serve us basically just because we're from New Zealand?
This is very low res.
Well, you guys are in America now, and there's a lot of prejudice here, especially towards people like you.
What do you mean, people like us?
You know, the English and whatnot. Redcoats, the oppressors.
We're not English.
Be that as it may, Jermaine, you're pretty much the most disliked race in this whole country.
What about black people?
They don't like you either. Neither do the Chinese, the Asians, Polish, Russian, Croatians, even the Indians.
Yeah, but Dave, you're Indian. You hate us.
Yeah. Sometimes.
But you're our best friend.
I know.
Why don't you get an apple from someone who doesn't hate our country, Brett?
Thanks so much.
Excuse me, I'd like to buy this apple, please.
New Zealander, stop touching my fruit. It's not allowed.
What's wrong with New Zealanders?
Hey, Neela, can we bleach this one up? It's been infected.
I want to buy that. I'll pay for it.
No, not this apple, New Zealandy. You can buy apples from over there, my special New Zealand section. $10 a piece.
There's a dog in the New Zealand section.
Well, it's for dogs from America and people from New Zealand.
Yeah, you're being racist.
How dare you call me a racist?
He doesn't mean racist. He means xenophobic.
Oh, you're being xenophobic.
You know what? Just get lost, New Zealanders.
I'm not going anywhere till I get a red delicious and a banana.
You want a brown delicious to the face?
No?
You want to make trouble for me? Huh?
I don't. Brett was sort of driving the situation.
We're not going anywhere till we get an apple.
I'm going to count to 10.
Are you counting in your head?
Yeah,
What are you up to?
7.
Oh.
Yeah, get your shitty bikes and get out of here before I peel your beard off.
Too many motherfuckers fucking in my shit. There's too many motherfuckers fucking in my shit.
Oh.
Too many motherfuckers fucking with my shit. With my shit. How many motherfuckers? Too many to count, motherfuckers. I pay my motherfucking rent fortnightly. Motherfuckers at the bank tryna pay me. And amount from my account goes out on AP. Yeah, you know me. Motherfucker charge a $2 transaction fee. Makes my payment short, my rent comes back to me. Minus a $25 penalty. So you feed me, cause of your motherfucking fee. Spread the word, I'm a ATM sip. Said we're all motherfuckers and we're fucking with this shit. Come on. Too many motherfuckers fucking with my shit. My transaction shit. Too many motherfuckers fucking with my shit. My weekly statement shit. Too many motherfuckers fucking with my shit. With my balance shit. How many motherfuckers? Too many to count, motherfuckers.
The motherfucker runs a racist fucking grocery. The motherfucker won't sell an apple to a kiwi. The fight's gonna get vicious and malicious. Cut the I need my red delicious. Tells me there's a kiwi that my money isn't back. But gonna dice the motherfucker like a mother Aladdin. Granny Smith up an avocado. Mango. And pop an apple in his ass, yeah.
Too many motherfuckers fucking with my shit.
I'm gonna juice the motherfucker.
There's too many motherfuckers fucking with my shit.
He's gonna wake up in a smoothie.
Too many motherfuckers fucking with my.
Everybody come on. Yeah.
Too many motherfuckers fucking with my.
There you go. That's exactly what it's like to be me on the internet. All right. All right. So let's figure out where the fuck. So now the funny thing, so I'm not going to do the talk demo even on this machine. But let's verify that it works. Let me close the door. I got laundry going. It's making noise. When, where, what is the talk happening? The talk is happening in 3 days in Estes Park, Colorado, where you may see an elk. Will the video be free? Last year they put up the video, so I presume that it may be a thing. I don't know. I don't control them. I'm not the boss of them, but I hope so. All right, so where's my? I've got some line of code in here with some Emacs. Emacs client. There we go. Settings. Emacs client. Default editor command. So is the Emacs in the right place? C. Program files. No, it's literally in my... No, wait. Emacs. Emacs 29.1. Bin. Emacs client. Why they be changing this shit all the time? All right, so C, users, different username from old machine. I wonder if I could just use tilde here. Let's get it working. So will this do this? No, fuck. So it's a hidden folder. App data roaming .emacs.d server. Okay. So let's try that. And let me actually did that just compile? No, wait. March 5. Wait. Did I build the right thing? We made main.exe. We don't want main.exe. Ah, we have a build right here. I am blind. I am blind. All right. Too many could probably just use Emacs client. Yeah, there's no way it's in path. Are you kidding me? Hey, look. Look, I could put my window over here and I can say draw particle properties editor. There it is. Expand. For expansion. New. Draw panel help. Blurvism. Right? Whatever that was. Oh, it has no name. Create. Load mesh from node. Dragon or wizard scan. Is floor fence at. Post move reevaluate. What a big butt function. What is this? Draw panel. Oh, God. Look at that function, dude. Oh, it's not that big. What? Maybe it's got a lot of inlines? It's only 300 lines. If point 729. Damn. Damn, son. Why so many? It's probably counting these sub functions. right now. Which, there's a question whether it should or shouldn't. Maybe we should store all these numbers in both, like including subfunctions and maybe not. But even counting those, it doesn't look like that much. It's like, are we calling something inline that's hella big is my question. Anyway. You had not seen this capability. Oh, well. You know, we've got some capabilities. I'm not like totally fucking around, you know what I'm saying? Including so, you know, the color here, the hot rectangles are lower quality code according to this metric, and the colder rectangles are higher quality. The reason this is relatively high quality code is like there's no branching, there's no variables, there's no assignments. It's just like very linear, right? Like blam, you just blast through it. So it's very easy to understand. What does blend mean? Blend is the name of the metric. So blend is basically a linear combination of a bunch of things, of basically all these other things. So if you want to say what functions write to global variables, you know, who does that? Right? Who reads from global variables? A lot more people. Who does heap allocations? Ooh. Do we have a static keyword? No. No, we do not. No, we do not. All right. My washing machine has finished, so I'll put the clothes in the dryer and refill my glass of water. While I am doing that, does anyone have questions about anything we're talking about? Because it might hint me what people are going to want to know during the talk. Okay. Well, we have some sort of package manager. Here's the thing. It's already the case that somebody could just like make a plugin that downloads packages and stuff. And I think people have done a little bit of stuff like that, but there's nothing like that everybody likes to use. And I don't want to be in that business right now because there's enough work to do just working on the compiler and stuff. Are there compiler optimizations that are more beneficial for function styles? I think that depends what you mean. Like all the functional language people want tail call elimination so they can write recursive functions and have them not be incredibly inefficient. Aside from that though, like honestly, not really. Like it, regardless of what language you're using, the question is just like, is your code simple and does it spend most of its time and effort doing the functionality that you're trying to implement, or does it spend a lot of time and effort juggling abstractions, right? And if it spends a lot of time and effort juggling abstractions, it's going to take longer to compile, and that's just how it is. And that's true whether you're talking about C++ or a functional language or whatever. Okay, so let's see if we could use the tilde in Emacs. Settings, yeah. I think I could do that, right? Nope. What does it think tilde is? What if I go to tilde? Ah, it thinks that's... What frickin' folder is this? Like nothing useful, right? Is this documents? Or is this app data? Oh, is this... Where the fuck is this? Documents, no. Saved games, no. It is home.emacs.d is, wait, really? .emacs.d. So why didn't this work? Error accessing file tilde Emacs D server. So Emacs just doesn't expand this. What a turd. No, it's definitely roaming. Because that's where the server folder is. You presume this tool is interacting with compiler and compiler message loop. That is true that other languages will have a hard time, but like, again, everybody copies things and does the crappy version, right? So like someone will copy this and it'll just like grep your text files or whatever, right? Can I just use app data? I presume this also will not work, but we will try it. App data 319. Yeah, so the percent signs. Oh, the percent signs are getting fucked by shelling the command out. Maybe the tilde is also getting fucked by shelling the command out. Maybe that's actually what's happening. Anyway, if I use full path, it'll work. Is it useful to track number of function instantiations? It might be, like if you're trying to optimize compile time. That might be a thing you want to know. The thing is, if I do literally everything you could think of, this list would just be incredibly long. Maybe we'll do that at some point. There's at least one thing that I want to add. I won't add it before the talk, but maybe it'll be a good weekend project. I want to add a metric that's binding energy, where you know, like you might write some code where you define a variable and then you use the variable in the next line, right? But maybe you're defining a bunch of variables and using a bunch of variables, and then maybe you insert some code and delete some code and whatever, and over time, just the distance between the definitions and the use can grow, right? So I want to do a thing where you compute like what is the binding energy of your variable declaration to its use, right? And like, is it minimized? The question of whether it's minimized is hard, right? Because like maybe you've got a line between your variable and its use, but maybe that line defines another variable that's also used one away, and like, you know, if you swap them, it's just as bad, right? But maybe instead of trying to compute the minimum, we just say what the average is relative to other things in your program, right? Just seeing how often a variable gets used. No, it's how much code is it? How much code is there after you defined it and before you used it, right? Because probably that's just purely bad. Now, maybe not. Like sometimes you need to open a scope and the uses are inside the scope. So we'll see how that works out. But, you know. Yeah, I always use the tree. I'm glad we did the tree map view. This was a weekend project, right? Wasn't it on the stream? Because this is the default view that I just use now. I don't use this ever now, even though it was the first thing I implemented. Whoa. For the few things they make sense for. Yeah, I mean, anytime things have a quantity and you care about the sum of the quantities linearly, right? Like if twice as much is twice as bad as one times, or approximately that, then it makes sense. I don't know why some of these are gray. It's a little weird. This is going to be an interesting talk to give because I'm basically just going to demo a lot of this stuff. It's just fun. It's just fun to sit here and play with it again. So hopefully people will be entertained. Are you not entertained? So some of these are default fields that we should fill out. Maybe I'll do that. I'll start doing this tomorrow or something. So let's test okay, let's try this memory debugger example. Is this useful to show? I mean, I don't think I want to go through every little detail of this program, but anyway. So we do the output, we do a leak report, we got stack traces, we get stack traces of where it leaks. Maybe we should make a minimal program that just generates a leak report just to show maybe I won't even make slides for this, right? Because we're demoing. I don't know which one I want to show first. Do I show the memory debug? I think the interface on the memory debug is not as fun. So maybe we do it second. I don't know. So basically, what's happening is this program is intentionally creating memory leaks, right? And then when I call give me a leak report, it's telling me I leaked 64K of memory, and in this function, and this is the entire stack, you know, where I did the leak, right? And then we change the format a little bit. So like here, copy string is a function that we know allocates, but the dumb version of the leak report just keeps going, right? It just gives you the whole thing. But you have the ability to say, hey, just treat this as a leaf, right? So if you get to copy string, duh, we know what happened. You leaked, right? And then the third one, yeah, we're trimming the report from the root to make it not verbose. Like here it's just main, right? But it's like, duh, your program, of course, it's in main. And then it calls other things. So here we're trimming out main. And then this is, you know, if functions are recursive, you get the exact. So if functions are recursive, right, and you just say where the function is, you don't necessarily get the information you want, right? Whereas here, you've got a function that's recursive, and we tell you which call it was, right? And then here's a serialized data structure. It is like Valgrind. I mean, Valgrind is more... I haven't used Valgrind in forever because it's so hard to use. isn't it more about like memory, invalid memory accesses, or is it a leak detector? Is it worth it to demo performance report? Good question. Do we have an example? I forgot about performance report. Where is that? Is that in? Oh, it's a flat file. That's why I tried to CD to it. So, yeah, we could do that. Let's try it. Let's try it on Sokoban. Oh, you know what? We don't have a perf report. We don't have a general plugin thing in our own meta program. That's something that I want to make easier. So for example, when we do the codex view, we just set a variable. Oh, we have perf. All right. So there we go. Boom. Yeah, basically I just want to show the tools, right? Maybe this is not an ideal like this is very verbose output, right? Let's see if the top of the output looks good. Runs 0.05 seconds. Bytecode generating 0.28 seconds. Run report. These are all our compile time executions that happened. Why the fuck? Why the fuck is telemetry running a shitload of times? What the hell? Is this report accurate? Oh, right. Wait, we're actually instrumenting for telemetry by default? We shouldn't be doing that. I'm hungry. Where is this? See, this is why we have performance report. It's 0, though. What the hell? So why are we importing this? Is just fucking straight up there. Okay, whoever... I see. They're doing it. They're turning it on by default for some reason. Okay, wait. So what this is I don't know why this isn't indented. This is driving me nuts. Yeah, this is what happens when you hire programmers is they do stuff like this. Like all of these runs is fine if you're instrumenting your code, right? But like we don't want to be instrumenting our code because like this is happening for everyone who uses iProf, which is what makes me angry about this. Like what the shit? Okay, so what is happening? Oh no, this is in Sokoban. So what happens with superluminal? Does it have runs? Profile message telemetry. Telemetry enter zone. Yeah, this is not okay. All right. Bro. I'll just leave that extended. All right. Telemetry tick. Telemetry shutdown. Like, why is this a function? Like, we have enabled telemetry. Like, what? Bruh. All right. Like, why? Why did you do this to us? Yeah, we'll keep that. Like what? This is like... Yeah. All right. Like... What is happening? Okay, who's calling this? Logger. Why? What? Why? Why are you doing hard-coded telemetry shit? That is not, you just shouldn't be doing that at all. At all. Why don't I implement some sort of code review system? Because, motherfucker, I already work 800 hours a week. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? So the question is, well, I have a lot of questions. Let's just leave it at that. Let me just check this. Because, like, is this function doing something else? That it doesn't look like. No. Okay. I just wanted to see if it was like recent. Hey. All right, these are still a lot, but they at least make sense because we're you know, and it's not like this is enough that I could scroll through it in the talk and say, well, it's because we've got all these profiling hooks or whatever. All right, so we're doing polymorphs. We did 20,000 attempts and 4,000 matches. Array add. 1728 calls. Yeah, this is worth going through in the talk, I think, right? There are 11 versions of this function with the argument types, and the first person to instantiate them, which this is not really well defined because things compile in different orders, so you might get a different answer next time, but it's like, you know, I'm a little bit confused. Because I feel like this plus this should add up to 1728. So, like here, they do add up. Right? 1261. That looks like it's about 1550. Anyway. Anyway, we don't need to look at all of this in great detail, but I do think it's worth talking about in the talk. It might be bedtime for me soon. Anyone who's on the beta have other ideas of tool things that we should demo? Because we could also just demo like what's in the standard modules, right? Like there's definitely Will I attend Better Software Conference with Casey? No, I was not invited to Better Software Conference. So, I am at LandConf in Colorado in a couple days. So let's make sure the game compiles and runs normally. Worst software conference. Yeah, C++ Con still already exists. C++ Con. Dude, I was changing the overworld some more today. Check this shit out. Remember over here? Remember over here? And then you go through here. Look at all these rooms that are here now that weren't here. And like all this. Yeah, good times. Good times. Okay. Yeah, we've got like 5 or 6. So the problem over here was some of this was just kind of stupid filler because we just didn't have any levels to go in this area. So Patrick made some levels and they're good. And so, yeah, we could probably drop this update as well without resetting anything for anyone because it's all new entities. I think that would work. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to risk it, but we'll see. We'll see. We could risk it. We could always roll it back if it doesn't work. Do you wrap BLAS or LAPACK? I mean, anyone can call any system function that they want, and we have tools to generate bindings, so we don't distribute LAPACK, but anyone who wants to can. The more on-topic stuff in the overworld is the better stuff. Yeah, I agree. That's why I redid that southeast quadrant, and what you'll find is that like the further through the game you are, the more on topic the overworld is. Because sort of what happened was, when we started designing the overworld, we had no idea where the game was going to end up and all that. And so we had the idea pretty early on that we wanted it to be on topic, right? Because what else are you going to do? That's good. But we didn't have actually that many ways to be on topic sometimes, right? So if it's skipping stones or whatever, we had that, but like we didn't have the ability to reset rivers. Like that didn't make sense. You couldn't ever divert rivers. And we didn't have any of the wardrobe stuff. That was an idea that came way later. So we couldn't give you an outfit or give you a wand or anything. And so early in the game, we just had a really hard time being on topic because a lot of the time there just was nothing. Like if a level's about the thief, we couldn't do that. There was no possibility of doing anything like. So we would have to look at is there a button in the level? Is the thief dragging stuff across buttons? Okay, we'll put a button in the overworld, right? And that's just not nearly as close. And so these ideas came in later that enabled us to do those things. And then, they sort of had to get synthesized back into the design of the beginning of the game because we had a beginning of the game already. It's hard to imagine the game without wardrobe. I know. I mean, the game's been in development a long time, but wardrobe is recent. And wardrobe is in the last 1/3 of development. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I agree. It's worked out very well. Did I delete the level with the wizard in the warrior thief zone? So the warrior thief zone got reorganized in terms of what levels are in there, but also the wizard zone did. So the wizard zone that's right next to the warrior thief zone was mostly not wizard levels, which was a crazy oversight. Like, it's just, there was a lot of reorganization to do, and didn't quite happen there. So now everything in the wizard room is a wizard level, and everything in the warrior thief room is a warrior thief level. But we didn't really delete levels, we just moved them. Sometimes things don't come together until very late and yet feel inevitable. Yeah. True. Yeah, so, you know, you're playing the not best version of the game because everything's getting much better after you play it, but that is, that's the nature of playtesting, right? Do I know of any games that lower the difficulty of their puzzles if the player is unsuccessful? I mean, there's all kinds of games that have their protagonist condescendingly tell you the answer to the puzzle if you take more than 10 seconds to look at the puzzle. We might, I was talking to our publisher. Well, we don't have a publisher yet. I was talking to a potential publisher who we're getting along well with. And they were like, maybe you want a hint system for more casual players. And I've thought about a way to do that, to give hints that don't totally give you the answer. But it absolutely would not be a timed thing, right? If we add that, it would be player invoked, right? Can of wormholes. What? I don't remember. What did it do? Did it just like pop up a hint button on the screen? It would fade it in or something? Is that what it did? Aren't hints just an admission of bad design? I mean, I don't know. I think you need to have some kind of appreciation as a designer for the wide spectrum of people who might be playing your game, right? And some of them may have never played a puzzle game before, or not this kind of puzzle game, right? And, you know, it's just tremendously easier if you're familiar with the genre and how it works and all that. And so, I don't know. Like, designing for everybody in literally every case is very hard, of course. It's impossible, actually. Gain insight from the menu. Yeah. Yeah. I think if we add a hint system, it would count how many hints you do and tell you every time you do one. This is hint number 37. This is hint number 38. And then it would put it, you know how in the witness we sort of put the score in the save game? Of how many puzzles you solved and stuff. We would do that, but we would also say you got 185 hints. Can you flag each puzzle with the ones you needed hints for? That would be a good idea. So like as you walk around the overworld, you get shamed by which levels you didn't totally do. What if people save scum the hints? I mean, we auto-save your game. So I don't know how well that's going to work. There's the tribunal. I mean, we don't want to totally shame people, right? Like, if you add hints, it's like, okay, hints are for people who really needed or wanted hints. But like, you do want some friction. You don't want people to just give in and do hints all the time, because they will, right? Hints definitely have to show you the techniques. Well, what I'm thinking of is, and who knows how well this would work, because we haven't actually designed it yet, right? But the idea is, it would be like a detective mode kind of a thing, where, you know, you can see some magical traces indicating how to start the level, right? Like, this location is important, or this object is the first one that you should mess with, right? Now, maybe that doesn't port to enough levels to matter. I don't know. We'll see. Do I have any thoughts on why GDC has gotten worse? Yes, because game developers have gotten worse. First of all, that's the number one reason. Also, though, yeah, like, the thing is, in the old days, everybody was sort of working on very similar things. And then at some point, games got kind of solved at a baseline level, right? And then everyone was just doing random ass stuff. And so topics became more and more niche fundamentally at some point. Seems hard, but you understand why publishers would want such a thing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you know, like if it helps more people enjoy the game, I don't necessarily mind it. But I don't want to do a bad version of it. Like if it starts wrecking the game, I'll be like, maybe we shouldn't do this, right? Like, how many shadow mapping talks did you go to in the early 2000s? Yeah. Yeah. He would just highlight a single square that was wrong. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense for this game at all. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to do a hint system. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, maybe we shouldn't do it. If it's good, I'll do it. But anyway, I forget why I brought that up, but I brought it up. What's the point of GDC? I don't know. Most people don't go to GDC anymore. Like, GDC is mostly noobs now. And I heard, I haven't seen official numbers, but I heard that GDC attendance was massively down this year. Like 25% down, like those kind of numbers. So when are we planning a release? Hopefully before GTA 6. We'll announce something at some point. Yeah, skipping levels is no good in this game, absolutely. Yeah. No, because if you don't understand the level, you're basically screwed for the rest of the game. And I mean, maybe that's another reason not to do hints at all, because like, you know, even if you strike a good balance and don't really give people the answer, I kind of feel like it's inevitable that it won't land as deeply, right? If people get a hint, as opposed to like working it all out themselves. I don't know. What about a textual hint? Yeah, I mean, I would consider that if the detective mode thing doesn't work out. Because with text, you could make it like a riddle or something, right? That people have to think about. But the problem with text is it seems like it would degenerate into telling you the idea of the puzzle, which we don't want to do. Like, I don't want to tell you like, oh, this puzzle is about swapping the force field deactivator onto the button after you had the beam shooter on the button, right? Because then there's nothing to think about, right? And like, even if you do have to think about the mechanics of how to solve that, like the delight of figuring out the idea has been ruined at that point. So it would have to be more like, you know, the blue crystal is very important, and the red one comes later. I don't know, right? But the problem with that is sometimes more information really doesn't help, you know? So we were redesigning some parts of Skipping Stones today, or Patrick had done a pass on them, and then I did another pass on them. And there was one where Patrick had added stones in a few places just to, like, okay, you're not going to try to push this lily pad west because there's a stone there, so don't think about that. And the problem is you're just seeing all this extra stuff, and it's like, but wait, it would be cleaner if I didn't see all this stuff and I would have less to think about. And it's obvious to me that I don't want to push the lily west there anyway, so what, you know? And yeah, I feel like more information is not necessarily helpful sometimes, often. What if we put hints in the game, but every single hint is a lie? Like literally all of them. All right, you know, I think it's bedtime, but we ran through some stuff that we'll do for the talk. We built up this. We're going to check in way fewer run directives. Did I do anything else? So I should learn how to use frickin' whatever the other one was. Superluminal. I should learn how to use that as well at some point. Oh, you know, that's in other things to demo, right? In-game iProf and GPU debugger. You guys have seen the GPU debugger, right? So this is just going to be a bunch of stuff that I commented out. Great. So like, you know, we of course have this. I should maybe make this just have more lines, right? Like why do we stop there? All right, everybody. Yeah, no face reveal tonight. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to be at this conference for the next couple days. I'm driving up there tomorrow. Maybe we'll stream from the conference. They should have pretty good Wi-Fi, right? All right. Thank you, everybody. See you later.